Late date Morgan dollars, tough. Uncirculated, more of a challenge. And then the branchments, well, let's start hunting, shall we? Well, we've done all that. So we're going to have some fun for the next 8 minutes talking about these two. The year is 1900, the turn of the century, and the year 1901. Both of these are the Southern Mint, New Orleans, which means on the reverse, which we'll get to in a minute, there's that beautiful O Mint mark. Now, New Orleans made the Morgan dollar for only 26 years. They started a year late, 1879, and they went all the way up to 1904. Now, the Morgan dollar was made one more year in 1921, but at that time, New Orleans doors were closed. They closed their doors in 1909. So the last O Mint was 04. So these are both at the end of the rainbow, so to speak, for the New Orleans Mint when it comes to silver dollars. Both of them, average mintages, 12.5 and 12.3 million. So if you're looking at Chapter 1, which is just the ranking of mintage figures, well, not too bad. Now, you're looking right now at an average circulated coin on the left, and then these gorgeous uncirculated specimens from the few rolls we acquired in the last week or so. Now, the left coin on the left is a beautiful circulated coin. That one, though, that is a beautiful uncirculated coin, and you can definitely see this difference, a significant difference. Circulated and uncirculated. All the details and inscriptions there, but it blast white beauty. 120-year-old coin, everybody. Can you believe that? Yeah, 120 years old. Now, here is the other side that we always pay attention to. And if you've been with us before, you've heard whether Allison or Alex or myself or the combination of us in our chats, always comparing population report scenarios. And we use that as a guide because it tells us how many coins NGC, PCGS, ANACs have seen of any given coin. The Morgan dollar being the most popular vintage series, they've seen millions and millions of coins. But if there's 26 O mints, what have they seen the most of? Or in this case, what have they seen the least of? And these are special. Very, very special. The O mint, give or take 53,000 coins seen and certified, all grades, the last 35 years. And the 010, the coin to the right, 45,940. So small numbers. They're only small when you compare them to a decade earlier, the middle of the 1880s. There are three coins that sell for the same prices that these do. 83.0, 84.0, and 85.0. I love that group. They look gorgeous, just like this group, selling for the same price. But the 83.0 has 155,000, 84.0, 248,000, and the 85.0, 243,000. Well, you've heard Allison, you've also heard myself, you might have heard Alex as well, talk about how the Pittman Act of 1918, which was President Wilson's introduction of the U.S. into World War I. And at that time, to raise funds for us and our allies, they melted about 60% of all Morgan dollars. We just have no idea which ones. Well, now with population reports, we have a good idea. And it's a very simple, logical flow, if you'll humor me for a minute. If you started putting coins in a barn, your vault, in 1879, when New Orleans opened their doors for the Morgan dollar, would you drop them by the front door, or would you walk to the back of the barn and drop the bags there? And then in 1880, where would you put them? Right next to the 79s. And eventually, the barn's going to get full, most likely with the coins towards the end of the series, which happened to be 1904. So these 00 and 01s were towards the opening doors of the barn. So when they destroy 60%, is it unreasonable to look at this mintage figure charts and go 60% of all O mints and just go backwards, and you're going to end up right in the middle 80s, which is where you look right at 83, 84, and 85. And they have decent known populations, still tiny for how many coins were made 140 years ago on those two. But these two are selling for the same price. Now, my competition has these two. They're at $1.43 and $1.59. for these two exact same old mint Morgan dollars. And our price tonight's just $79.95. Silly, huh? What a great opportunity, what a great value. Now, our phones are a bit busy. Thank you guys for that. I'll do my best to keep up with that tonight. So if your choice means if you already have one and you want the other, join us. You don't have to buy both to get the low price. That's the way we do our business here at AVC. It's all about the value. And again, we're going to show you a couple times tonight. The variance, that's just an average circulated coin. My competition sells the coin on the left for $5 more than the coin we sell on the right. Just a great way, a great opportunity to add some vintage silvers. Last year's Morgan Dollar program, right? 175,000 New Orleans minted Morgans were released on May 24th. They sold out in 3 minutes. And today you can't find that coin for under 200. There were 175,000 of them. If you asked me to find you 200 of the 000s, and I'll give you a week, I wouldn't take the deal. I don't care what you're paying me. Yet this 120-plus-year-old specimen looks like it was made yesterday and sells for a fraction of last year's old mint 2021. That's a head scratcher for me all the time. Part of the reason why you're seeing a lot of rise in price on these older Morgans is all tied to last year's program. A lot of the people that are what they call modern issue collectors bought last year's coins and realized that the older vintage coins, the 100-year-old original Morgans, are affordable today, and there's fewer of them. Again, every coin NGC has seen in the last 35 years equals 53,000, equals 45,000 on these two. Last year they made 175,000 and it sells for over 200. So again, our competition's at 143 and 159 respectively. The end of the era for New Orleans in the original Morgans. The mint closed in 09, the last Morgan was 04, and these are the 00 and the 01. Guys, we got to put a 1-minute clock up. We're down to our last 10. A lot of web traffic on this one. Thank you all. Remember, you can always talk to our operators. It's a toll-free number. They're there to support. Love the series. Love the value of these vintage Morgans. Again, 120-year-old vintage coins selling for less than a silver eagle does today. Does that make any sense to anybody? But that's the market. Modern issue market's different than vintage market. Vintage market's much, much rarer, much harder to get. Not that the modern stuff isn't hard to get, but it's a supply and a demand, and it's an education. Who knows what? If you're watching us or some of the other shows on TV, a lot of them talk about the series. We spend a lot of time, every show on the Morgan series. We love it. It's the #1 collector coin in the world, non-silver eagle. And it's because it's made from the Comstock lode, the largest silver find in America. The Bland-Allison Act of 1878 turned it into the Morgan dollar, and the rest is history. Whether it's Philadelphia, San Francisco, this New Orleans, Carson City, or the one Denver, the Morgan dollar series, the best of the best. And tonight we have them at $79.95. Omens, 1900, the turn of the century, 1901, for only $79.95, saving a bundle. You got to join us.